I have always stated on this platform severally that in politics nothing happens out of mere coincidence, and that everything is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Francis Kimemia, who is the current governor for Nyandarua and a former head of the public service and secretary to the cabinet, stated something last week which in my view was significant politically speaking. Francis Kimemia stated that indeed there is something called the deep state, and that deep state could actually be deeper than deep. That statement by Kimemia was very deep. And yesterday something very interesting took place in this country. Ezra Chiloba was appointed as the Director General of the Communications Authority of Kenya. That appointment of Ezra Chiloba is also significant because Ezra Chiloba is the immediate former Chief Executive Officer of IEBC. IEBC conducted one of the highly discredited elections in the history of the Republic of Kenya in 2017. And the question which Kenyans are asking is, why would Chiloba be rewarded for performing dismally as the Chief Executive Officer of the IEBC? Ezra Chiloba is highly qualified. He has his CV is one of the most impressive. Let me read for you what Akombe posted about Ezra Chiloba appointment. Akombe was one of the, I'm just getting it. Akombe was one of the commissioners at the IEBC, and she took off before the elections. Now, Akombe posted immediately Chiloba was appointed that Communications Authority of Kenya is equals to electronic transmission of results. Akombe is an insider of IEBC. She was one of the commissioners. And now she's saying that, and with the appointment of the new Communications Authority Director General, 2022 is sealed. And then a few hours later, she also made some very interesting tweets. No, this is one of the pinned tweets on her post. Akombe is saying it has taken 3 years. This was by December 2020. It has taken 3 years, but it is out in the open. The next crew to lead the 2022 injustice is ready for their rewards. Rest in peace, electoral justice. Then she's talking of certain things, disgrace to diplomacy, that 3 former IEBC commissioners appointed ambassadors. Commissioners resigned amid IEBC crisis in 2018. IEBC bungled the nullified 2000 presidential elections. So basically, the commissioners who bungled the last elections were appointed as ambassadors, 3 of them. And then in the tag also is one where Joe Musheru appoints former IEBC Chief Executive Ezra Chiloba as a member of Youth Enterprise Development Fund Board for 3 years. Remember, ICT Cabinet Secretary directly dealt with the electronic voting process in this country. Instead of Chiloba being kicked out, rewarded. And also, she's also quoting a tweet by Alai that embattled IBC ICT Director James Muhati to assume role as the new Huduma Chief Executive Officer. The deep state is deeper than deep. But what is the political significance of appointment of Ezra Chiloba? Let me point for you 4 appointments which has taken place so far. And these are people who worked previously with IEBC. IEBC chairman, as we speak today, is still Wafula Chebukati. highly discredited, but of course is protected. There's nowhere he can go. Chiloba is likely to preside over the next general election. Now, the commissioners have been filled. And I think I did a video about that. William Ruto missed out in the appointments of the new 4 commissioners. Now Chebukati is there. Number 2 is the appointment of Ezra Chiloba. Ezra Chiloba is now going to be the commissioner, the Director General of the Communications Authority of Kenya. Let me read for you the role of Communications Authority of Kenya according to their website. If you go to their website, this is what they say is the role of the Communications Authority. Their responsibilities entails, number 1, licensing all systems and services in the communications industry, including telecommunications, postals, carrier, and broadcasting. It's also saying managing the country's frequency, spectrum, and numbering resources. Number 3, facilitating the development and management of a national cyber security framework. Understand that. The Communications Authority is the one which is responsible for facilitating the development and management of the national cyber security framework. Number 4, they are saying it's facilitate the development of e-commerce, and it also approves and accepts communications equipment meant for use in the country. So if someone intends to import, for example, ICT equipment for their own data transmission, it will have to be approved. So Chiloba is basically going to manage data in this country through his new role. Now, Ezra Chiloba worked with the IBC. So Wafula Chebukati is still there. Ezra Chiloba has been appointed. And then there was another significant appointment at number 3 of Immaculate Kasait as the data protection. Now, Immaculate Kasait is the wife to William Kamket. But that's not significant. The most significant thing is that Kasait also worked with the IBC in the last election. And Kasait was being accused by NASA of creating 3 million fake voters in the register in the last election. For those who followed the elections in the last election, NASA had issues with the register. So they believe that 3 million dead voters, non-existing voters were added to that register. Again, she has secured an appointment instead of being sent home. Then at number 4 is Muhati. For those who remember, Muhati is the guy who replaced Chris Musando as the ICT director for IEBC. Chris Musando assured the public that it was not going to be possible to rig the 2017 general election. But after assuring the country, he went missing and he was eliminated. We've talked more on Chris Musando. You can refer to some of the videos. If I don't forget, I'm going to put the link. So Muhati is going to lead the Huduma number. For those who follow the news around this country, Huduma number is going to replace the IDs. So again, you can read something there. But why would Wafula Chebukati, why would Ezra Chiloba be appointed as the Communications Authority of Kenya Director General, when we all know that Kenyans really don't have hopes in him? In my view, only 3 reasons, and I want to be very brief. Number 1, I tend to think that Uhuru Kenyatta is keen on securing his legacy. And what is Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy? Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy is very simple: a united country. And how can Uhuru Kenyatta deliver that legacy of a united country? Simple: conduct a free, fair, and credible elections. Uhuru Kenyatta understands that a free and fair, credible elections, which will satisfy Ruto, which will satisfy Raila, will help him achieve that objective. And how can he achieve that? Bring the people who bungled the elections on board. Who are these people? Ezra Chiloba, Wafula Chebukati, Emmanuel Immaculate Kasait, and Muhati. Now you bring on board these people because these are the people who understand how they bungle the elections. When it comes to electronic transmission, these are the guys who understand how they messed that system so that this time around they can fix it. What about the register? When we talk of 3 million, so that's data security. Kasait will come on board there because he understands that if indeed 3 million voters were added to the register, then Kasait will come on board. What about ICT? Again, the person who understands how everything was messed up through the Kim's kit is Muhati. And Wafula Chebukati presided over the entire process. So why is that significant for President Uhuru Kenyatta? Uhuru Kenyatta was a presidential candidate. He understands so well that in the last elections, they never won free and fair. So if there were people who were added there, then it means they will be removed. And if they will be removed and the field is leveled, and then you leave Ruto and Raila, then you remove, say, 800,000 or even 200 or even 1 million from the register from Central Kenya. You go to Rift Valley, you remove some. Then you go to Nyanza, you add because they were deflated. Then Uhuru Kenyatta would be assured of killing killing 2 birds using 1 stone. Number 1, that will guarantee Raila Odinga presidency. And number 2, every Kenyan will be convinced that the elections were actually free and fair. And therefore, he will achieve his legacy of a united country. That's number 1. Number 2, I don't also want to rule out the possibility of someone somewhere activating the rigging schemes. And the question is, to whose favor? Is it to William Ruto's favor? Is it to Gideon Moi's favor? Is it to Raila Odinga's favor? Maybe you can tell me, who do you think the system is likely to favor? And if they were to rig, who would they rig in? Your guess is as good as mine, but let us not speculate. But I tend to think that there could be someone somewhere who is actually trying to activate rigging schemes. But that could be one of the reasons. Number 3, it could also be, Chiloba could also be just paid. I mean, political debt. If a promise was made to Chiloba that he was going to do whatever he did, if indeed did them, then he was promised A, B, C, D, E. Through pressure, he was kicked out. Then Joe Musheru tried to fix him somewhere. But that was not the right place for Ezra Chiloba. He has a very impressive CV. Then it simply means that whatever he was being promised is being delivered. So Chiloba, as the Director General of the Communications Authority, means he's one of the parastatal heads in this country. I don't think there is any other appointment he can get in this government, apart from being a cabinet minister, than what he has been rewarded with. So in my view, that's my take. Probably someone is out to rig the elections, and that will be clear as we head forward. It could be strategies to ensure that Uhuru Kenyatta achieves his legacy by presiding over a credible elections in 2022. Or probably Ezra Chiloba is just being rewarded for the job he performed in 2017. I don't know what to think. Let me hear your thoughts. And again, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or 2 and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And by the way, give this particular video a thumbs up, please. Just give it a thumbs up. Support the channel. That's the best way. And for those who have not yet joined the channel membership, please do. Just click that join button now. And there is something I'm thinking of doing an analysis on. The Mount Kenya Foundation is set to meet with the One Kenya Alliance leadership. What are they likely to discuss? What is the objective of that meeting? Because these people met with Raila Odinga just yesterday. Until that time, this is Lee Makwiny. Thank you, and please may you have a good day. Bye-bye.